Hi everyone, it's Angelica Allen here. I am a yoga teacher, a stage 3 back cancer survivor, and a quantum health coach. I help entrepreneurs to regain control of their health and life before the crisis by changing their habits. And today we're going to be talking about how to stop eating processed sugar, how to stop a sugar addiction. When you talk about sugar addiction, it sounds like really strong, but I feel we live in a world that is constantly putting sugary things in front of us, what we can call treats, or things that make us comfortable and happy and feel good in our bodies. But I feel it's everywhere. And the food companies know that people are seeking for that high. They know that people are seeking for that pleasure. They know that people are addicted to that feeling physically and mentally in their body. So it's important to really understand that and acknowledge that if you are in that place that you're living, if you're an entrepreneur and you're exhausted and you're going from one sugar treat to another and you are living out of sugary treats, and this is how you get motivated throughout the day, because this is not sustainable. And you're probably already feeling some signs in your body that you can't just keep living on this sugary treadmill, right? So today I'm going to be talking how I stop eating processed sugar. I've made another video to talk about why I stopped it, and I'll put a link above here. But today I'm going to be talking about how I did it. It's very important for me to help my clients to take action, not so much understanding the information and the knowledge, but taking that information into how can I apply this to my day-to-day life. So how I stopped sugar. So I want to just put it out there that I was somebody who, if there was a sugary treat, a cake, a biscuit, or whatever at work, when I was working in my corporate life, I would just eat it. I would just indulge on my, and I would just go for it. I would have chocolate at home. I would always, if my kids were out with me and they wanted an ice cream, I would have an ice cream. If I wanted to have, a piece of cake, I would have it. So I would always be eating sugar. When I look back, it wasn't something that I ate little of it. I would say I ate a lot of it. And I would say I ate every day. So the first thing I did was to really think about what are the things that I can stop doing right now that it's going to start weaning me off this kind of sugar addiction or habit, if you like. So the first thing I did was taking the sugar out of my coffee. I used to have 2 sugars on my coffee, and in my old corporate role, I used to go for coffees with people all the time. So let's say, I drink 1 coffee, 2 teaspoons of sugar, another coffee, that's like 4 teaspoons of sugar. And if I had another one, that was 6 teaspoons of sugar just on coffees. So I believe that there is a massive change that you can make here if you are drinking any of your hot beverage, or if you're drinking any of your cold beverage that contains sugar in it, right? Let's say if you're drinking sodas and things like that. But it's very important to tackle this in a way that is not going to be from 0 to 100, because some people, when I have worked with people like that, they are drinking 3, 4, 5 sodas a day. So if you take all away from you, you're gonna feel, because it is an addiction. In a soda drink will have like 9 teaspoons of sugar. There's a lot more than in a coffee. So your body is going to feel, it's going to crave for it, and taking it completely away, it's going to make you crave more, and it's going to make you just go back to it because you haven't replaced this with anything. You went from drinking too much of it to drinking nothing, and I don't believe this is sustainable. So I drank 1 coffee a day at the time that I stopped, because I was at home after my emergency surgery for my bowel cancer. And instead of adding 2 teaspoons of sugar, I stopped adding sugar at all. So I would say that if you are drinking sodas, for example, I would reduce the amount of sodas that you're drinking. Like, let's say if you're drinking 5, go down to 4, and spend a week doing that. And if you're drinking 4, go down to 3. and spend another week doing that. And if you go down to, from 3 to 2, and just gradually do it like that. Okay. So if it's, either reducing, if it's too much, reducing sugary drinks or added sugar to drinks. So gradually do what you feel it's sustainable for you, what you feel it's doable for you. If you are listening to this and you drink 5 sodas and you've tried going from 0 to 100, you probably know by now that doesn't work. And this is why you go back to it. So think about, what it is actually doable for me. And if you think about, okay, I'm going to go from 5 to 4, it's a lot more doable, and you can keep gradually reducing the amount of sugar that you are having already on your diet, because that's going to become a massive difference in the overall sugar intake that you have, right? The next thing that I did was to really, for me, was to stop eating any sauces, or ready-made sauces. I didn't really have too much of the ready-made, but when I talk about sauces, I'm talking about tomato sauce, right? In 1 teaspoon of tomato sauce, you might have 1 teaspoon of sugar. You might have, a lot of sugar, right? Depending on what quality of tomato sauce you're buying. So again, by reducing that, you are reducing massively your sugar intake. I used to have barbecue sauce, tomato sauce. By the time you combine the two and you're having that 2, 3, 4 times a week, you are adding too much sugar to your diet. Again, I would just reduce that. If you're eating an enormous amount, reduce, like maybe, take it away the barbecue sauce, which you probably have more chemicals and stuff in it to make the flavor, and tomato sauce is just based on tomatoes, hopefully, but with the sugar and everything else. But reduce one and focus on the other, and then you start reducing the amount of it. Again, making sure that it's doable and meeting where you are at. When I talk about ready-made sauces, I'm talking about things like if you buy ready-made bolognese sauces or ready-made curry sauces and all of that. If you look at the ingredients, they will have things like sugar or corn syrup or rice malt syrup or date syrup, whatever it is, to really add sugar to that sauce. So again, reducing the amount of meals that you're eating with those will reduce enormously the amount of sugar that you're having on your diet. So the third thing is making your own treats. And I'm going to add one recipe below, but if you want more recipes, please join my free group on Facebook that I have. I have loads of recipes. You can also join my email list, where I can send you my email, my list of recipes that, have lots of treats that you can make your own. Making your own sugary treats. So I make my treats with things like bananas. I make my treats with things like dates. Nobody, you're thinking like, Angelica, but that's all sugar. Yeah, it is sugar, but it's natural sugar. I want to say here in this video that I did not stop eating sugar from natural things like fruit or dried fruit. Do I eat an excessive amount of them? No, I don't. So, but all the sugar that I have are coming from those treats that I make my own. Now, if you think about it, if you buy a bag of biscuits, chocolate biscuits, right? There will be like 10, 11 biscuits. You can eat probably half of the package, or you can eat 2 or 3 or 4. When you make your own treats, if you're making, the recipe below, it's made with proper ingredients, it is actually a lot more filling, and you're not going to be able to eat 3, 4, 5, or 6 biscuits, because in your body it's going to go in, and that's proper food, it's proper nutrition. So you're going to feel satisfied quicker than if you just ate something from packages. Things from packages are made for you to just eat unconsciously. right? Because if you look at it in a chocolate biscuit, they might have, a very small percent of chocolate, if you're buying a good quality biscuit, but most of it, they don't even have any chocolate on it. So really making your own treats, it will make a massive difference, because what you are eating, you know what it comes from. You know exactly what ingredients you added to that. So if you think about this, right? Just by doing that alone, you're going to reduce an enormous amount of sugar that you are intaking on a day-to-day basis. And if you only did this, your cravings would be a lot less. As I said, if you do it slowly, gradually, you'll be feeling a lot more confident in keeping to reduce the amount of sugar that you're intaking. You will know what you are ingesting inside your body. With the sugary drinks, if you get rid of your sugary drinks completely, then you are on to drinking more water. You're drinking, and I'm talking about not only soda, but I'm talking about juices as well. Juices that are coming from bottles, they have the same amount of sugar sometimes as the soda, so they are not a good they are not a good replacement, if you ask me, from sodas. Really, when it comes to cold drinks, the safest one is water, because it's just water. But by making those small, sustainable, and doable changes, I really believe you can really feel a massive difference in your body around, the sugar cravings or the sugar addictions that you are, potentially hanging on to, right? Just think about, this is only a habit that you need to replace and change with something that is going to be more beneficial to your body. Guys, I really hope this is helpful to you. If it is, give me a thumbs up. Share this video with somebody that might have complained to you about having this sugar addiction or this sugar need all the time. And if you are an entrepreneur that wants to regain control of your health and your life, there's a link below. You can book a call with myself and we can have a chat to see if I can help you. But thank you so